Yeah, 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 boy. I'm not fucking with you. Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to the Comedy Podcast. I am your host, DJ Marcus, and you are joining me live in the Comedy Studios. I'm never alone. I'm always with my boy, Joey LaFaro.
So,
Joe, what's wrong? You shaking your head over there, buddy.
We're live everywhere but on Facebook.
Why does that keep happening?
Because Facebook's a punk, and it takes a second.
Well, okay, Facebook's our bread and butter, Joey.
I know.
We got to figure this out, man.
I would like to.
If we're not live on Facebook, no one knows who we are.
That would be nice.
All right, man, get it figured out. You're the tech guy.
I don't know if I can without restarting.
Without restarting the show? What do you mean? Yeah, the restart.
There it goes. I had to refresh the screen because apparently it didn't want to go. Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, I'm just fucking with you. Hey, guys. It's Facebook Live joining us on the Comedy Podcast.
I told you before that with this new setup, Facebook's going to take an extra minute to do.
Okay.
Because
so should you start that a minute before?
I can't.
Oh.
Facebook uses like it has to push to Facebook.
Okay.
We can't push to Facebook until a stream exists.
Okay.
See the problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, that voice you hear, folks, in the background, that is our special guest this week, the Doctor of Thugonomics himself, Funk Master Flex, kicking them hoes left and right up in Philadelphia. Uncle Tom in the building. Thomas.
Ayo.
How's it going, my friend?
What's going on?
Welcome back, sir. You're gonna get us all a little more healthier in 2021.
So
Yes,
here's
sir.
the thing: everyone's looking at the podcast feed, and either they're looking at it on Instagram and going, "What is this?
Yes.
Why is there an Arab trapped in a computer?" Or they're looking at the other feed and wondering and like how we're related. Because if you look at the two of us right now, we clearly look like one of us was adopted. Like it's or we have different fathers.
You look like relatives. You know why?
Why?
You look like the Americanized version of Thomas's cousins. So like Thomas is the Middle Eastern bomber. You are the Arab American used car salesman sitting in the studio wearing
I emigrated us here, and then you took over from there.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we do both come from a long line of Phoenician businessmen.
There you go. Phoenician.
According to Ancestry.com.
There you go.
23andMe told us that our ancestors were merchants in the Mediterranean.
Oh, really? Well, that's a good thing then.
We push textiles across ship across boat. I don't even know this. That's not even right accent.
I don't think you did that correctly at all. But it's okay, Joey. You know why it's okay? Because you're on the Comedy Podcast, my friend.
Yes.
And this week, Comedy did nothing exemplary except for what? What did you do this week, Joey?
Well, we tried to have a podcast last week.
We did.
And
this is a cluster F.
So we were excited. I was excited we all were like, last time we checked, on the last episode, we all were excited. 2020 was finally coming to an end. We're like, okay, we're out of this shithole. We can finally move on. Better things, better days are ahead.
New year, new us.
New year, new us. And 2021 started with all the hope. And then within a week, we're quick to realize that this is the year of what the fuck.
Yes, it is, sir.
Because on Tuesday night, we tested our whole setup on Sunday.
Yep.
Everything was working fine. Came here Tuesday night to record, and even came early.
Mm-hmm.
Shit was broken.
Everything broken.
10-year
aftermath.
10-year computer finally decided to give it quits.
Gave it the last.
It got COVID.
Yes.
There was one last. One more old person died in 2020, and it apparently was our desktop.
Yes.
So then,
it was in computer years. 10 years in computer years is like 75.
Then the next day, the Capitol gets attacked.
Yes, it did. That was the next day. That was a Wednesday. A day that will live in privilege for the rest of our lives. A day that has shown America for truly what it is. But we're going to get in that a little later, Joe.
We'll get back to that.
We're going to get in that a little later.
We'll get back to that.
But Dot Comedy has had, since we've had some renewed hope in 2021.
I'm not done with the what the fucks
okay.
yet.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So then later I had two coworkers who have immigrated here, and during a meeting that one of them started the meeting by turning to the other one and then saying the phrase, "Or are you still in the country?" And I felt that was unprofessional.
Okay.
I also thought it was really weird for one immigrant to say that to another
immigrant.
And it's not like I work construction, and they said it in Spanish.
Oh, mi amigo, está aquí. Está aquí.
And appropriately, the other one responded, "Why the fuck would you ask me that?" Not with her words, because she's professional, but with her eyes.
With the roll of her neck, she went, "Are you fucking serious?"
I was one of those things where, like, I'm pretty sure if we had actually, it's a good thing we're in virtual remote settings because of COVID. Because if we weren't, a backhand would have been thrown, and I would have been looking at my phone for deniability.
Joey would have said, "You know what Joey would have done, Thomas?
I ain't see shit."
Joey would have yelled out, "World Star!" and it kept going.
I would not have corroborated a damn thing. And after I thought that was going to be enough, what the fuck, between last week and this week, but then I went to go pick up this suit from the tailor.
Okay, it looks nice.
I love this suit, and I hope we can get Bonobos as a sponsor.
Bonobos
for two reasons. One, I have never worn a suit that felt this comfortable. I want to wear this suit to do yoga. I've never felt that way about it. I put the pants on, immediately was in love.
This is your yoga suit, huh?
Apparently, well, the thing is, I'm shaped weird. Right. I'm not big, and I'm not small. And those seem to be the only options. They have either you're like, giant, and I think everybody's made like a normal, like, normal sizes outward from top to bottom, or they think that you're, a skinny person and you're supposed to, like, wear everything tight as hell. So this place actually has an athletic cut.
Ooh.
That's made for the more curvy men.
Okay.
Curvy
man,
such as myself.
Yes.
So I was thrilled. This is so it feels tailored, even though it's not. This is off the rack.
Where'd you get it from?
Bonobos.
There's a store?
It's a store. They have a store in Montgomery Mall. You can also order online.
I've heard of them online. That's why I was like,
there is a store you can go try them on.
Okay.
They don't really, like, you don't take it home the same day. You order it and then it gets delivered.
Oh, okay.
But you have to have it hemmed. So I had to go take it to the tailor, get it hemmed. And as I left, a gentleman came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to buy this carpet cleaner? I thought you could use it to make some money. All I'm asking is $40.
Somebody trying to get you with
times, man.
And I have, and in my hand are two suits, like in a hanger on my back.
You can still use it to make some money.
And I'm like,
you look like a used carpet cleaner salesman with your suit on. I think
I wasn't wearing it though. I was just walking out of the store, and I'm like, "Yo, like, come on, is this what we're doing now?"
You look like the guy that says, "Hey, buddy,
here's the
buddy, buddy."
It'd be one thing if there was like a carpet cleaning company nearby that he maybe had. I don't know where he got the damn thing from. It was not a pawn store there. There's nothing else.
Did it have a bag?
It was in front of Swahili Village.
Oh my goodness! Why were you in front of Swahili Village?
Because that's where my cleaners is.
Oh, okay.
It's next to Swahili Village, the restaurant. But I'm like, this is just what the again. 2021 seems to be on pace to be the year of what the fuck.
Yes, it is. It's starting off a little different than we expected. We hope to leave the fuckery back in 2020, but it looks like it's following us.
But you know what? Here's the thing: the fuckery. Well, last Wednesday, notwithstanding, the general fuckery this time around doesn't seem as angry. It doesn't feel as generally life threatening. Like 2021 basically felt like, when are we gonna die? And I don't feel like the fuckery of 2021 is that variety.
Mhm.
It's more the God going, watch what I do to him next. Like it's more.
I can see that.
It's like him trying to amuse the angels by fucking with us.
Hey, come over here, Peter. Peter, watch this shit. Watch him. They're gonna riot at the Capitol. They're gonna riot at the Capitol. What are they gonna do different?
What's next, man?
What is next? I didn't do too much this week, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to stay low key.
Yeah.
Try to keep things calm. World doesn't work very well for me. I've learned that my blood pressure is getting lower. I am 24 pounds down since starting my 20-and-4 fasting regimen.
Bravo.
Nice.
Bravo, good sir.
I'm kicking ass. I'm taking names. And I'm eating weird shit. Salads every day. I eat a salad every day.
Okay.
And usually if I can like get a hold of fish, I'll eat fish.
What kind of lettuce though?
That's romaine.
All right.
It's romaine.
That's like an entry level salad.
Yeah.
It's a salad. It's like you're getting your water and your fiber.
It's not iceberg.
It's not.
And I just
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Romaine just tastes a little better.
No, an iceberg is not. It has no nutritional value.
Romaine has slight nutritional value.
There you go. It's slight. Goddamn it! I'll take it. I'll take it for what it was. But I usually do
Take
that.
what you can get.
There you go. I use
It
romaine,
has slightly more chlorophyll.
romaine and radish. That's my salad.
Okay.
Romaine, radish, and broccoli. That's a good
Nice.
salad. There you go.
Broccoli in a
Broccoli.
salad?
Raw broccoli.
Raw?
Raw broccoli.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, isn't that good, Thomas?
Yes, sir. I always used to do that, man. I make a salad just out of broccoli and salad dressing.
There you go.
Healthy salad dressing.
I can't do broccoli raw unless I'm like dipping it in like blue cheese or something.
Why?
I don't like it's just it's hard. It's hard.
That's why you cut it up.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
cut-
supposed to be like that. It's like carrots. You don't want them slimy and cooked and all.
Yeah.
No, that's the
You
thing.
eat 'em raw.
Carrots, I like them raw. Broccoli, I think I like it. Butter and salt, pepper is a pretty strong combo on those. Hard to fuck that up.
See, I used to roast my broccoli. Used to roast my broccoli and roast my Brussels sprouts.
Oh, Brussels sprouts must be roasted.
Roasted Brussels sprouts with olive oil and some nice kosher sea salt.
I had lemon pepper Brussels sprouts for dinner tonight.
No lemon pepper wings, baby.
Nah, I didn't do those yet.
You ain't do that.
I'm experiencing.
Thomas know about them lemon pepper wings, don't you, Thomas?
I mean, I know about lemon pepper wings. I haven't made them myself yet.
I don't even like lemon pepper wings. Truthfully, those are the most disgusting wings I've ever eaten. I'm not gonna lie to people. I
There's
can't
so
lie.
many other flavors.
Yeah, there's 10
It's
billion
like,
other
why?
flavors. I don't need that. I don't need that nonsense in my life. Oh man, but yeah, Joey, I'm learning to live and be as healthy as I possibly can. I'm gonna live to be 100.
I'm
Joey,
being asked why we aren't wearing masks. In a word,
because we're 6 feet away from each other.
yeah, we don't have
I'm
the scale.
isolated in a room in a cave.
We've trapped Thomas in the computer, so
who's
we don't
asking
need a mask.
why are we wearing masks?
Tara.
Tara?
Yeah. This is a
Oh.
comedian I know.
Oh, okay.
Part of my very large network. You know what I just realized?
You are networking more.
I went live from that's one of the problems. I went live from my feed and not the .comedy feed.
See, this is the fucking worst. This is the problem with you, Joseph. This is the absolute fundamental problem with Joseph LaFaro is Joseph LaFaro doesn't pay attention to details. Do I need to take over that part too, Joey? You want me to take over that part too? Want me to do audio and video for the podcast?
No,
You sure?
I'll get it.
All right. I'm just making sure, man. Because I'll do it. I'll do it real quick. I'll take over the whole thing, and then all the checks are mine. That's right. That comedy checks sign over to M. Coleman Productions. That's me.
Incorporated.
There you go.
I might be better off doing it from this thread because it's
It reaches more people.
reaches more people. It reaches more people than the .comedy thread.
Oh man. But Joey,
Mm-hmm.
what time is it? We did. We got through This Week in Comedy in record time. Normally, This Week in Comedy runs 45 minutes, and then the rest of the show runs another 45.
Mm-hmm.
With the craziness going on in the world, you know what we need in our life, Joey?
What's that?
A little bit of health.
Health.
And you know we need, you know who we need when we need that health in our life?
What do we need?
Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom. He is.
I'm here for you guys.
He's here to keep you healthy, me healthy, and keep the comedy viewing public as healthy as possible. So, Uncle Tom, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
I need to come up with a music bed for you when you come in on, like, it could be like a Buddhist monks.
Yeah, like a nice intro.
There you go. I'm gonna work on that. Next time you come on, you will have your own intro. You'll be the first, actually the second member of That Comedy to have their own intro on the podcast. But Thomas,
I'd be honored.
I have some questions for you, sir.
Yes, sir. Shoot.
All right, grapes. I like grapes. Joey told me grapes aren't good for me.
That's not what I said.
I looked at Joey. I said, I bought some brand new grapes, Joey. I'm gonna eat these grapes. If I need something sweet, like instead of eating a bag full of candy, like I do, you know I do, I'm gonna eat these grapes. And Joey's like, you're picking too much sweet, man. You can't eat that sweets, man. That's sweet bad for you. I'm like, I gotta get a second opinion. So tell me about the grapes.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, I mean, so metabolism, health, all that stuff, man, it's a huge topic. So try not to go off on tangents here. But yeah, I mean, it's not. So a lot of people would tell you, well, it's not about what you eat. It's about when you eat. And I think that's a big piece of it, right? I think you're finding that out with the success, and congratulations on that with the fasting. So, you know, you're not eating grapes all day, right? It's not like you're popping grapes and 30 minutes later you're, you know, downing them all day. And so the biggest thing with any sugar, and yeah, it could be fruit juice, it could be candy or whatever it may be, but you basically don't want to keep tricking your body into thinking, hey, you got calories here, you've got nutrients, you got stuff to metabolize all day long. And so, you know, it's not the grapes that are bad as much as what it does, you know, what it's signaling to your cells and all those things throughout the day. So, I mean, the good thing about the grapes is it got fiber, it's got other things, it's got polyphenols, it's got resveratrol, which everybody's, you know, lauding that is going to extend life and all these other things. So it's definitely better than eating candy, and it's not going to kill you. That said, you know, it just depends how strict you want to be, you know, with your dieting and what your goals are. You know,
does that part sound familiar?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to like cut weight for a fight, or, you know, you're trying to live long time, you're trying to stave off heart disease, right? It depends what your goals are and how restrictive you want to be with yourself. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of factors, and it really just comes down to, again, signaling to your cells. And you probably heard of insulin when it comes to diabetes, but we all have insulin being triggered all the time.
Wait a minute, why would I know about diabetes? That sounds racist. I don't know nothing about diabetes.
No, well, I
got my feet.
God damn it. I just posted an article. It's crazy, man. You know, 2/3 of America, so, you know, 2/3 of us are going to be pre-diabetic on average, right?
You know how Thomas threw that shit in there, Joey? It's 3 of us here. So he's looking on the other side of that screen. He's like, look at those 2 diabetics.
Hey, I've gotten close to being near pre-diabetic. I was pre-diabetic, but to the point where the doctor felt the need to say something remotely close to it about it, and then I stopped going in for tests because they got expensive. But
yeah, that does get expensive.
Hey, the Army just came out with an article, and they were saying 71% of Americans are either too overweight or too unhealthy or too poor or whatever the case may be to join the Army. So they can't make basic training. And if the Army can't whip you into shape, you know, with boot camp, I don't know, you know, something's wrong, right?
Red flag.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of turns all those shows on their head, but it's just an indication, you know. it's the knowledge that's not out there, right? And you can do everything right, but it's just this one thing lacking in your diet or your lifestyle, right? I'm not getting enough sleep, or and you can't say, but you're exercising, you're doing all these things, but you can't exercise like an unhealthy diet or any of these things. They all kind of combine together. So it's really just knowing what the pitfalls are, and these tricks, right, to optimize your nutrition, right? And we can talk about some of those like specifically.
Yeah, like what are five tricks that like are gonna hit most people that they're probably not doing already?
Yeah, so one thing I would say is, and this is probably one of the bigger things, is limiting stress, right? Taking some time out for yourself. I know it's anecdotal and it's cliche and all those things, but it's some real science behind it. And the reason is because basically your gut lining, your gut goes through you. It's your lumen and everything like that. It seems like it's inside of you. It's not actually inside of you. It's like your skin inside of you. So it determines, it interfaces with the outside world, and it determines what's going to get in and get out.
So we're all like inner tubes.
Yes.
Yeah, we got this big inner tube in there, and basically, depending on what you eat or how stressed you are, signals to the cells in there to kind of part ways and kind of become porous and let more things in or more things out. And that's when you get into trouble. You start letting whole proteins in versus digested proteins. You start letting in endotoxins and all these things you don't want in there, and it inflames you, and then your body doesn't want to metabolize as well, right? And so your fat cells don't want to give up energy for the rest of your body to use, and all those kind of things if you're inflamed, chronically inflamed. So it starts with the gut, and the gut starts with stress, and as well as what you eat. So that's a big one, is kind of, and especially when you're eating. So they even say, don't put on like a horror movie when you're eating dinner, right? Just kind of woosah and get into a zen moment before you're eating. And if you're fasting and you have a good window, it's easier to control that, right? Versus if you're kind of stress eating and eating throughout the day as you're working and stressed out, it's harder to obviously limit stress when you're eating.
Yeah, obviously,
and it can make a big difference.
And obviously, you also throw in, fact that when you're stressed, you eat comfort food, which is
Double
high
whammy.
it's going to usually be high in carbohydrates, high in fat, and probably not even the good kind of fat. And I'll let Thomas give some more tricks, but I think there's one I hope he hits on. I'll see if he does.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good segue, man. I'll jump to that one next. It's a biggie. So a lot of people don't know, all fats are not equal, right? When you go and look at the nutrition label and it said, oh, there's 10 grams of fat, there's different types of fat on there, right? And the nutrition labels are deceptive. Sometimes they'll label saturated fat, polyunsaturated, and monounsaturated if you're lucky. But most times they just label saturated fat, and you're left to do the math and figure out, okay, if there's 10 grams of fat and 5 grams of saturated fat, I got 5 grams left over that are not saturated fat. And the reason for that is, for 30 to 40, 50 years, there has been this demonization of saturated fat because people think it causes heart disease.
Okay.
And so they had all these studies and they turned out to be a bust. And there was a guy that even had to go, and so the studies turned out to be a bust, and so they didn't even publish a lot of them, or they published them in all obscure journals. So this guy had to basically do investigative journal Dick Tracy and go into this guy's basement. The scientist died, and he went into his son's basement and collected the tapes and published the data to find out, hey, they thought that they were trying to prove saturated fat was bad for you. The data actually proved it wasn't bad. If anything, it was better than polyunsaturated fat for heart disease, stroke, and cancer outcomes.
So what's big in saturated fats?
What's saturated fats?
Mm-hmm.
Saturated fats are going to be like your butter, like fat on a steak, and basically animal fats. For the most part, there's a little bit of saturated fat, or there's a lot of saturated fat in coconut as a plant, but mainly you're going to find saturated fat in animal foods, and there's a reason for that.
So if my potato chips are cooked in lard, am I doing better or worse than somebody else?
Lard, so that's a tricky one, because lard.
Look at them grandma
typically.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I've been eating. That's what I switched to.
Yeah, they don't make. I don't know what chips you're getting that's cooked in lard anymore, but that would be better than what potato chips are cooked in now, which is the furthest thing away from saturated fats, which is polyunsaturated, which is like cottonseed oils and all these different, seed oils. Basically, they call them vegetable oils, soybean oils, and things like that. They're not really. They're seed oils. They ground these seeds. They're things humans would have never had in their diet for 2 million years.
You know what I found out? Why soybean oil is so prevalent in the world?
Cheap.
Not just that. It was a trick by George Washington Carver, because some white folks came to him and said, we need an oil, or like we need something that can be mass produced and it's cheap and it's able to be used in many different things and foods especially. And he was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go work on this stuff. Now the white folks didn't know that he ain't like white people. So what he did was he tricked them, and then he said, all right, I'm gonna give you something that's gonna fuck you all up. And then now look at everybody. Everybody got cancer and shit. You ain't know that, did you?
You go.
Did you know that, Joey? There are links to cancer and soybean oil.
Do you mean peanut oil?
No,
he was doing the peanuts.
It wasn't peanuts, because they saw what he was doing with the peanuts, and they were like, the peanuts are too expensive. So you need to find us something else we can use. And he was like, and he said in this high pitch, you know why he had a high pitched voice, Joey?
I didn't know he
was castrated by white folks. Didn't know that too. See, this is why he hates white people.
So George Washington Carver sounded like Michael Jackson?
He sounded higher than Michael Jackson. He sounded worse than Michael Jackson. But that's the reason soybean is so prevalent.
This is the weirdest Black history lesson I've ever had.
Again, got to listen to Dick Gregory's speeches a little better. That's okay. Dick Gregory told us all. Dick Gregory is a very good man. You ever listen to Dick Gregory, Joseph?
I feel like I have at points in time.
Yeah. Uncle Tom, have you listened to Dick Gregory?
See, I have.
I'm asking black facts from Uncle
sources.
Tom.
Yeah.
That's why we like to talk, Thomas, because he's a very macro person. He likes to reference different things. I do too. But
hey, you got to get all sides, right?
There you go.
And so history aside, to Marcus's point, for whatever reason, soybeans took off, and they originally, all these seed oils, they were mainly using them for greasing up engines and in industry, but then they found a way into our food supply, because like, what else can we do with these things, right? So maniacal plots aside, they're in our food supply.
Agricultural lobbyists. It's Monsanto. Yeah. We know it's Monsanto.
It's not Monsanto. Stop blaming Monsanto.
Monsanto is no bueno, but it's not Monsanto so much with the seeds. I mean, they have an investment there, but it's all
the DNA,
food, right?
The seeds.
Stop it, buddy. You can't talk about
it's Nabisco. It's Procter and Gamble.
No.
It's all
Melendez.
I was really heartbroken because I used to love salt and vinegar. My favorite potato chip. I grew up loving it. Always that greeny yellow bag was always my favorite. Always like targeted it, and the little bag too, because you get in the big bag and there's not enough salt and vinegar on the chips.
Yeah, you get plain chips.
You got to get the small batch. So I remember, I can't remember when, but earlier this year I asked Thomas about the ingredients, and I read them off to him, and I found out that they had not one of these seed oils, but like 2 of them and an additional carcinogen. So that's when I had to start exploring, and I started looking around, and like almost every major chip brand uses some of these oils, some of these like nasty cottonseed.
Yeah. Do Doritos?
I believe so.
What do Doritos? What kind of oil do they fry my Doritos in?
Corn oils. Yeah.
I mean, they're made of corn.
Yeah. Yeah. All
corn's good for you.
Not so much. I mean, not the oil, not when they're smashing these things and getting the oil out of them. It's such an unnatural thing if you think about it. And, you go and look at a tribe, like some of the tribes in Africa today, and you measure how much of this stuff is in their bloodstream. It's like 1 to 3%. You go to an average American, and it's, upwards of 20%, 30% of our calories. It's insane. And we're just not designed to be eating this stuff. We're designed to be eating fats from cows and lamb and right, and all these other sources of saturated fat. The Maasai out there drinking blood and milk mixture and living on that for 6 months, right? That's where they're getting their fat from. They're not grinding down seeds. I mean, there's evidence of this stuff, like going back in India, some thousands of years, but for millions of years, we weren't grounding down seeds and getting vegetable oils out of them. So the body's just not really designed to do
We're
it.
not supposed to eat seeds. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I mean, if you think about it, look, the plants can't get up and run away from you, right? You know,
Okay.
But they've evolved these techniques to kind of make sure that they can procreate, right? They don't want you to eat their seeds. That's their babies.
You don't want to actually. They don't want you to actually to digest the seeds. The seeds are supposed to pass through you in many cases.
Exactly.
But you can chew.
Exactly. So if you chew the
but
seeds,
you're
you'll
not
find out it's not
supposed
just these oils, but they actually have all these booby traps in there, these anti-nutrients that stop your stomach from digesting them.
Then why do they make sunflower seeds so good? They put
exactly.
They barbecue and ranch.
That shit ain't natural.
Yeah, but get some. Just
no.
Good compared to a prime rib, well seasoned, well cooked prime rib steak. I don't know.
Nah, it's not better than prime rib. I've had some good prime rib in my life, and I feel like
I had a ribeye for dinner.
Did you?
It was fantastic.
You look like you eat ribeyes for dinner in that suit.
I mean,
don't you, buddy?
I'm trying to be better in 2021. I'm trying to look better, trying to feel better.
Come here, my friend.
Trying to start.
Come here, my friend. Come here, my friend. I got good watch for you, my friend. Come in my shop.
I need a watch.
I got scents from everywhere.
I don't have a watch to like complete the look.
I got scents from everywhere. I got Ethiopian scents. Hey, hold on, my friend.
I have many good fabrics.
My friend, come on.
Best fabrics. You like textile. I got you a deal.
Man. Okay, you read 4. I think you had number 4 in your list. You said 5 things that everyone should.
All right.
Oh, I was gonna hold on. I was gonna get to something. So after he crushed my dreams and like I love fried potatoes. So I had to find an alternative when I am allowing myself to eat carbs. And the only 2 options I could find on the market that did not have some sort of seed-based oil were Trader Joe's makes an olive oil chip. It's a plain chip cooked in olive oil.
Okay.
And then Grandma Utz, which is cooked in lard.
Well, Utz makes an olive oil chip.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they do. They have an olive oil chip.
They do?
Yeah. I sell chips, Joseph.
I never seen it in the store.
I sell all chips. I know they do.
I know they have peanut oil chips.
No, they have olive oil.
They do? Okay.
Yeah. It says UVOO, so nonsense on it.
Oh, is the Uvu?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
Uvu
that
chips.
is.
Yeah. So here.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I have to look for that one.
It's out there.
They're hard to find, but like if you
and it costs way more than they need to.
If you can't, like, that's what I'm saying. The Grandma Utz are probably the most cost effective one, and the Grandma Utz, I will admit, the lard chips take some getting used to, because because the lard kind of solidifies. It's not the same because it's not liquid. So it's the thing I've noticed, and you can do this to make them a little bit more delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Is you can throw them in like a toaster oven or an air fryer for like a minute.
Okay.
It lets the lard loosen back up into like a liquid form, and then if it doesn't ruin the mouthfeel.
Does it make them softer?
No. No, they'll still because they're kettle cooked, they're still going to maintain that crunch.
Okay.
And the nice thing, if you like salt and vinegar, you can dash a little vinegar over them before you throw them in, and you'll get salt and vinegar chips.
Okay. Joe making homemade store-bought chips. Look at you.
Hey, I'll look for any loopholes I can find. Why don't you
just cut up some potatoes and just throw them in the air fryer?
Well, that's a whole lot of extra work. I gotta cut potatoes. I can't make them paper thin without a mandolin. And the last time I fucked around with a mandolin, I sliced my thumb off.
You didn't you?
Yes,
I remember that.
And then I had a date the next day, and I went on a date I had to make sandwiches for people I was selling sandwiches to at work, and then go on a date later that day with a bandage on my thumb. And I'm pretty sure that I had a podcast within that same week.
Yeah, you did. Because I remember that whole situation.
It was like one of our first episodes.
Yeah, it was an early episode of that comedy podcast. But oh man, Uncle Tom, I thank
you. Go.
I thank you, sir, for your health warnings, your health news, keeping America safe again.
Didn't we have fit number 5?
Oh, we didn't hit 5. I thought. Oh, you took over.
I had to get my 2 cents in because I need to share the life hack on potato chips to get you around this terrible news that the seed oils are going to kill you.
All right, yes. Uncle Tom, what's number 5? Number 5.
Yeah, I mean, so just trying to narrow this down, I guess the next one I would say that a lot of people maybe don't know about, some people may know about, is just these compounds that are either estrogenic or kind of poisonous to the metabolism. And so it could be plastics is one of the main sources. Exposure to plastics in your foods, microplastics in water, in containers, in bathroom liners, right? So plastics in all forms can be basically induced estrogenic effects in the body and mess with your testosterone, right? And mess with your adrenals and your pituitary glands and all that good stuff, and your thyroid.
Boobies and thyroid problems.
Yeah. There you go. You don't want that. But the main thing is that can affect your metabolism and down the line. So if you're really trying to lose weight and you're having issues, right, it's another thing just to look at and be aware of. You could be filling up, because it's another thing we're designed to detoxify all these things we talked about with plants, all these compounds you'll find in plants, and coffee has caffeic acid and all this, but your body's been having that for millions of years. We haven't really been exposed to plastics, microplastics. So
should you not drink coffee?
Do I wet my coffee?
Should you not drink coffee?
It?
Oh, I wouldn't say you should not drink it. I mean, a purist may say some people may have more problems with it, but to kill 50% of people, you would need to drink something like 273 cups of coffee to have 50% probability. Like it's the toxins in coffee would have to be extremely concentrated to harm you. So I don't think it's harmful per se to drink coffee, and the caffeine can actually be beneficial because it it kind of poisons your adenosine receptors, which are basically what causes you to wind down and feel tired. So that's the mechanism that gives you that boost of energy, and can kind of help you jumpstart your metabolism kind of naturally. So in targeted amounts, and Joey goes crazy on his Celsius drinks.
Oh, geez,
throughout the day. So I don't know. It's not good to be peppering yourself with caffeine all day, and it can mess with your sleep cycle. But in and of itself, like coffee, I mean, the acrylamide and all the things from roasting the bean, and all these things people talk about, I don't really buy into it being dangerous. So a little bit of coffee is fine if it helps you.
So with going back to the plastics, so
yes.
Is it like, don't ever use plastic bags, don't ever use plastic bottles, don't ever use plastic Tupperware, or is it not for certain things? Like what?
Don't heat your food in those.
Well, obviously not. Well, I guess not obviously. That's what we're asking.
Definitely for foods, but some of these compounds are present in foam for your mattresses and stuff like that, so you can kind of look into it on a chemical by chemical basis. I brought up the shower curtain thing. Vinyl versus different other shower curtains are going to be better for you, but how often are you being exposed to that? It's just with the hot shower and the heat, it's really heat. Okay. So whether it's food or you're near something else, heat accentuates the amount of decay of the plastic and how much it's going to kind of get into your body, basically, either through air or through food particles or whatnot. So definitely don't heat anything up in plastic. I mean, they have these instead of plastic bags, they have these silicone bags now you can look into. It's much safer if you want to heat up in a bag. Otherwise, use glass, use ceramic. Maybe avoid, you can use tint foils, aluminum foil, but not, every day. You don't also want what they use on tin foil to build up either heavy metals or anything like that. But yeah, you don't want to heat anything up in plastic, or, water bottles is also one of the things, because you can get it cold. It's not hot when you buy it, but you don't know how many trucks it's been sitting on, especially in the summertime. So, it's just one of those hidden things. You never know. And in the summertime, I try to avoid plastic bottles, bottled water, especially because it could have just been sitting there the whole time and having it leach into the the water from the plastic, right? From the plastic bottle. So yeah, it definitely matters. And I wouldn't store anything for long periods of time in plastic, especially if it's like extremely acidic or hot. Like I said, if it's going to be hot and exposed to sunlight and those things, it's going to decay. It's going to leach into it. Does that answer your question?
It does. It does.
Right.
Indeed. Oh man.
So yeah, that and so I lumped in microplastics for number 5 and pesticides, right? Because they have very similar effects. So atrazine, glyphosate, I mentioned Monsanto, but these are the kind of the most heavily used pesticides, and some of them are water soluble, some of them are fat soluble, so some of them are some of them may build up in tissue of animals, muscle meat of animals, if they're not kind of organically or humanely regeneratively raised. Potentially that's less of a concern. Some of them are fat soluble, which if you ingest them, right, you may ingest them from eating plants and you don't wash them well or whatever the case may be. The fat soluble ones are more persistent, so they can stay in your system longer, the atrazine and things like that. So just kind of being careful in our modern world. I mean, there's a book about this, a great book I'll plug, called the Chemical Age.
Okay.
Frank von Hippel wrote it, and he documented basically how we gave up, toxic heavy metal-based pesticides for these organophosphate chemicals, like you see now, glyphosate and those kind of things. And it's never a good thing. Whenever we give up something, it seems we always find something worse. And that's kind of been the case with pesticides and those kind of things. So you just got to be careful. Try to buy organic when you can, and avoid those kind of toxins getting into your body, and wash things well and those kind of things, especially fruits and things that are heavily. You can find a list online of things that are more likely to have more pesticides than others, because they're more susceptible to pests, so
Okay.
they put more pesticides on them.
You know what I'm taking from that whole conversation?
Yes, sir.
Thomas told me to wash my grapes
Wash your grapes, man.
Before I eat.
Wash those
And
grapes.
store them in glass
in
containers.
glass containers. All
And
right.
store them in a glass container, and you're good.
Oh man, I heard a ding. Was that a ding of a new arriving member of the Dot Comedy family, Joseph?
I thought so. There she is.
Is she there?
Welcome to 2021, Candace.
Hey, Candace.
Hello, gentlemen. I'm just dropping in for just a moment to tell you guys that I love you so much. I can't stay today. I'm sorry. I'll be here next week. But I just want to drop in for a moment. Hi, Thomas. How are you?
Hello. Doing great. Enjoying this early week of 2021 so far. With all the chaos.
Scared. You better go full jihad. We love it. We love
You know it.
Allahu
Bunker down.
Akbar.
I run the front for the terrorist organization he's part of. That's what we've come to the conclusion.
Oh.
This is a privilege, guys. I never show my face at work. So, and you can see why.
Hello, Joey. Hello, Marcus. How
Hello.
are you, gentlemen?
I'm doing fine. You must be working because you don't got no cleavage showing. I guess it's gotta be working because it's the only time you don't. Every time you don't
It's
got
so
the twins
impressive.
out.
From my home, but they make me when we do our meetings or whatever, I have to go on the camera.
Yeah.
So I have to, professionally dressed from the waist up. It's oppressive. I want to work butt naked, but
Hey.
they
Hey,
I've gone the other
I want you
direction.
to podcast butt naked. I just saying.
I need it, Candace. I started wearing suits to those calls and the pants too, just so I could feel good about something. Like that's where I'm at with my job, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna feel good about the way I look today.
You're gonna love the way you look. I guarantee.
But
You know what? Fuck the Ben's Warehouse. You know what? 'Cause I went to 2 of them and they don't have jack or shit.
What were you saying, Candace?
the whole point of working from home is that I can work, in my own comfort, and if I want to be in my pajamas or naked or whatever. But they make me turn on the webcam, so I have to dress up, and I'm like, if I have to dress up, I might as well go to the goddamn office.
Yep.
Right.
Well, you got it off. You're
Except that we
getting
can't.
COVID.
Yeah, that was. I've
That's
come
the
to
difference.
come to the conclusion that I'm dressing. If I'm putting clothes on for the calls now, it's because I would have had to go in for those days, and then it became, you know what? I just want to do 2021 better. And in this year of WTF,
Yeah.
why not?
There you go. I agree, Joseph.
Well, you know what they say: dress for the job you want, not the dress you
Not the
job
dress you have.
Not the
Right.
job you have.
Not the-
I've been dressing like a personal trainer at work for the last
That's the job you want.
5 years, and I keep
Maybe
falling
that's
up.
the job.
He dresses for the job he wants. Oh man, but Thomas, again, thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Are you gonna hang in with us as we discuss the rest of the fuckery that started off this Happy New Year for us? Or are you gonna jet out?
I'll hang around, man. I'll
All
be
right.
a fly on the wall for you guys. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Miss.
Go for it.
Drop out. I just wanted to touch base to tell you guys I love you. I'm thinking of you. I am working. I have to work late today, and I want to thank Marcus for his amazing recommendation for Instacart because it has
finally got food in your house. Candace is like, yeah,
You
I
seem
keep ordering-
happier.
I keep ordering DoorDash. I'm like, why don't you just get Instacart? Just get people to deliver food. What the hell is that?
Exactly. Marcus, you were absolutely right. Thank you.
You seem so much happier than
Yeah.
you did last time we saw you.
You actually do. It's like night and day. But I'm happy to see you happy. That's as long as those teeth keep being pearly white and in my face, I'm always happy. That's all I worry about.
Heart
There you
changed my life. Thank you for the recommendation.
Of course.
Thank you.
Man, we're gonna take a quick break, folks. We're gonna get back to more fun and more thrills. We're gonna get into this whole Capitol debacle. We're gonna talk about craziness going on at the White House. We're gonna talk about everything, Joey. All that and a whole lot more coming up on the Dot Comedy Podcast.
I'm out. See you guys later.
All right.
Take care, Candace.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have
And
to
you're joining
rhyme
us
every
live
time
in the
I
Dot
sang.
Comedy
I was
Studios.
told when
I am
get older, all my
DJ
fears would
Marcus.
shrink, but now I'm
And
insecure.
you know what we're all, Joey? We're all just a little stressed out.
Yeah. No, literally. Normally, I dread the moment when you get weird with Candace on the podcast.
Uh-huh.
But this year has been so tense and weird that I actually felt tension release when that happened. Like I felt like, okay, something's still the same. It's not something I really normally like, but you know what? It's like that shitty building that you drive by in your neighborhood that you're like, I wish they built something else.
When they do,
But if you go on a long trip and you come back, you're glad to see it.
yeah, I've been there. Oh man, folks, we are the Dot Comedy family. I am DJ Marcus. That was Joey LaFaro. We're also joined by Uncle Tom, Thomas LaFaro, in the building. Oh man, Joey. Huh. So your friends decided that
My friends.
yeah, you a proud boy.
Not my friends. My family. Let's get it right.
You're
Our family.
yeah, you and Thomas's family decided
Amazing,
that the election,
Which is funny because if based on the descriptions we've used today, that sounds like the one we're the ones they hate.
yes.
Which kind of is consistent with how we're treated.
Oh man, but you're the Proud Boys, as they have been lovingly referred to and been called
Was that
themselves.
all of them, or were there other ones there?
Oh, it was the Proud Boys, the neo Nazis, the skinheads, the Klan, trumpets, Trump supporters, Trump subpoenas, Biden bashers, what else? The Kamala crushers. They were all down there at the White House on the 6th of January. Only 14 days before old Orange Chicken himself is ushered out of the White House once and for all. But they decided to go ham. Like they went ham like ham in the Bible ham.
I can't. There's like aspects of it that. Okay, so, and Thomas, I know you weren't really paying attention.
Mhm.
Yeah, run down for me what happened here.
So,
'cause I've been
short,
under a rock.
in a nutshell, basically, Trump held a rally, as
Yes.
he typically does. He had
Yes, he did.
held a big rally down in D.C. at the mall, at the D.C. Mall near the Washington Monument,
Mhm.
and he got his people all riled up about stop the steal. Hey, they can't do this to me. Blah blah blah. We got to fight. We got to fight. We got to fight for this.
He did it.
And then they decided, hey, well, let's go march to the Capitol. And as being part of a Black Lives Matter protest that did the same thing,
Yes.
I can understand the marching towards the Capitol part. What they encountered when they got there versus what we encountered when we got there were two very different things.
Yes.
The Capitol Police seemed to want their officers to die.
Yes, they did.
Because they had all the information in the world to know all this group was going to be there. And anybody who's had, I guess they were relying on, back the blue to protect them.
Yes.
Or that they were really relying on that thin blue line.
They were
in the truest sense of the word.
They were waving the thin blue line flag as they were chasing cops down the street in the Capitol.
And the thing was, National Guard was deployed, but they were given traffic duty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I went down, the National Guard were standing on the Capitol steps.
Yes.
The Black Lives Matter, we get anywhere near the steps.
And none of you would have gotten near it. None of you wanted to get near it.
No. And I didn't see not one person touched or removed their hands. There was some yelling at the police.
Yeah, fuck the police. Coming straight from the underground.
A lot of it was like asking them to take a knee with us.
Yeah.
In solidarity. And it seemed like not a big ask, but they had their protocols. And
seems like, you know why that was a big ask, Joey? Because they don't give a fuck anyway.
They actually had a guy who wasn't wearing a name tag and they made him leave. That was the one thing that happened that I was like, oh, we did something.
So one of the cops took his badge off and they were like, hey, go home, get it.
Someone pointed out they were like, and then the guy's like, yeah, just go find your badge. I don't know what the hell's going on, but this is a dumb reason for us to get fucked up. So
he's part of the problem. That's what they were gonna do.
Oh yeah. So that's what I recall from that, and that was like so, but that's not what happened.
Yes.
This time around.
No,
one, there was not nearly the same presence of there, and then it suddenly turned into like an attempt. They're like people pushing through the cop line. Now they're clearly outnumbered. So, and then they breached the Capitol. So they when they were in Congress is literally dealing with
in session, trying
to go through and certify the Electoral College results, and Republicans, being dumb assholes that they are, were like objecting to the results in Arizona, which never normally happens at the Electoral College point.
Yeah.
Except, and there's something like literally like I don't even think they did that with Gore and Bush, did they?
They've never done this shit before.
So
under all circumstances, they've never done it before.
There clearly was some level of fuckery going on with enabling this shit. And then they breached the Capitol. So now all the congressmen are trying to like get out of there, except for Representatives Jeffries from Brooklyn and Representative Allred, who basically were like, well, if we're going to fight, we're going to fight. And then they took their slim fit jackets off and we're ready to throw it down. But they say, no, let's go. Let's get you out of here. Meanwhile,
you coming up in Brooklyn like that? You ain't doing this, son. You ain't doing this, son. Nah, B. It ain't going down like that.
The one story I thought that was really funny was I'm double checking his name because I don't want to get this wrong. There was an officer, Eugene Goodman.
Okay.
Eugene Goodman was armed with a small baton, and basically,
was he the one that saved the senators by basically making himself a target by going, "Hey, come this way."
Yeah, he was basically like he got there, led an angry white group through the hallways of the Capitol building, and then took them into like another area where it was basically like a trap. Like he was the bait.
He was the bait.
Meanwhile, like and this is the level of craziness that was going on. Like there was a guy who was was a QAnon shaman, which I don't even know what QAnon is technically. I know they're a right wing group. I don't know where they got shamans. He subsequently since has been arrested, and now they will refuse to eat the food unless they feed him organic.
Oh, the Viking dude.
Yeah.
His mom was on
Davy Crockett.
Yes.
And then then there was one. there's guys who stole mail from Nancy Pelosi's office. Another guy was just trying to walk off with a podium.
Not tried to. Walked off with the
He
podium.
actually left through the building.
Got it home. Tried to sell it on eBay.
And got arrested.
And now he's arrested.
Nice.
This is the thing. It's hard to believe this was planned because it was so shitty. Like there was pipe bombs found outside the Democratic and Republican headquarters that didn't go off. So it's like, okay, so they were all duds. Like what? Where did I don't there's so many levels of this that were just they really didn't they had a very loose idea of a coup. There clearly was high level government involved because they fired the DC the Capitol Police chief was resigned over it because clearly he didn't prepare properly.
And then they hired a black woman to take his place.
There was to stand for that shit.
There's a bunch of bureaucracy holding up getting additional help down there on the day up. So that's why they were able to actually breach, and then they really didn't even do much in terms of arrests until later. So it's the worst. Not only is it coup, but it's a really shitty coup. It was really bad attempt.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. So I have two comments to that. One is, it's been a while since my protesting days, but we always used to have to get a permit for where we're going to protest, and I kind of doubt you can get a permit to protest in the Capitol. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how they kind of let these people even get that far. Number one,
you can't smoke in the Capitol either. And one guy took a selfie of himself doing it.
Yeah,
right. And two, I mean, civil rights protests, the Black Lives Matter protests, all these things, they have a long history of kind of nonviolent protesting, right?
Yes,
so at least there's a chance it's not going to get violent. With white people, I mean, when has it not been
white people,
somebody getting run over? I read an article, and this guy, he has Molotov cocktails, but he doesn't just have some crappy Molotov cocktail he made up out of a bottle of whiskey. He has freaking napalm, and it's obviously the shit's going to hit the fan, you know what I mean? So I don't know how they didn't see this coming.
Every time, I mean, think of it, this is all those Columbine kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
basically,
all grown up.
So what I found, Joey, I found the audio of the security guard. I forgot his name. Gentleman you talked about it.
Eugene Goodman.
Eugene Goodman. I found audio of him moments before and during the riot scene. It's him.
8 o'clock in the morning. I'll call your mother myself. What is it, Mr. Wright?
The fire chief.
Where is he?
Got past the gate.
Code 10! Code 10, there's a door clock! Get those teams off the door! The enemy is here!
The enemy.
Mr. Clark, you're under arrest.
If you ever seen Lean on Me, you understand why that black man was hilarious when I saw it. That's the only thing I could think of when I saw the video of him, because I saw it live that day.
Mm-hmm. And
I can only think of one thing. That guy that's on his radio. Hey, get everybody back behind me and fix this shit. They're coming. They're coming. Because you see him running upstairs, and he keeps running upstairs and look behind him, and he's running more stairs. He's like, come on. And then he stop, wave his baton, and then run some more, and then stop a little bit, wave his baton, and go, hey. And then he grabbed one. That's when all the white people got angry.
The funny part,
he touched one of them. That's when white people get mad. When you touch them and tell them to stop, that's when they get mad. So that's when they got serious for.
And the funny part was they turned on Mike. They were trying to hang Mike Pence.
They were there to kill Mike Pence.
And Mike Pence, again, I'm just was so angry that night at 6 o'clock when the curfew ended and people didn't get fucked all the way up. Because Congress, they tried to kill you.
Yes.
Why aren't you out?
Why aren't you mad?
And this is the thing that pissed me off, because Joe Biden called for the nation to heal after the election was over. It was come together. What did I say? I said, I'm still in fuck you bitch in the click you claim mode. And I was right, because it's exactly where we need to be the fuck right now.
Yes, it is. I am a firm believer in that, Joseph. I look at it from this point of view, okay?
And all them bitches got some mace in the face. And what was her name? April Bootsy McFarland, whatever the fuck.
Oh, that chick
That chick that got shot. That Karen, Queen Karen, found out there was no manager. You want a manager? Here it is. Bow.
Yeah, she jumped over that fence and got shot in the neck. 5 people died, Joey.
One of them was an officer.
One of them was one officer, and 4 civilians were killed during that. And God bless their souls.
And then I heard another officer committed suicide, which sounds sketchy as all fuck.
Was he hung? Then it sounds even worse.
I don't I just don't understand what
it's Jeffrey Epstein moment.
Because he probably was a Proud Boy and had to defend himself against Proud Boys, like everything I believe is wrong, and then either that or he knew
everybody.
He knew some shit about the conspiracy that fucking allowed this shit to go down in the first place.
I can see that happening. Also, Joey, I look at it from this point of view. The president of the United States, well-known racist.
Mm-hmm.
He has incited this heat and tension inside of our country that no one knew was. Well, we all knew it was there. He took it right. He did what a good cook does in the kitchen. He took all the flavor we knew was inside of that moist ass turkey, and he brought it to the outside. He took that. He